Hello everyone, welcome to our channel provided by OUTBREAK Private Limited. In this video today, I would like to talk about one topic that everyone is paying attention these days. That is coronaviruses. The purpose of this video is to introduce our point of view regarding effective preventative measures to coronaviruses through considering the case of Japan, where the number of infected people is not increasing as much as other countries. So let's start. First of all, let me start with basic information about current status of the coronaviruses. As you all know, the WHO has declared that coronaviruses is a pandemic. The term pandemic means an outrage of the disease that occurs over the wide geographic areas and affects an exceptionally high population of the countries. According to the Johns Hopkins University, as of March 24th, the coronavirus is spread to 170 countries and regions, and the total number of infected people in the world is about 422,000. And out of that, total number of people who have recovered from this disease is around 108,000. But unfortunately, around 19,000 people have died from this disease. Even in India, where I live now, the entire country is locked down. Needless to say, schools, offices, shopping malls, restaurants, cinemas, all these are closed. And even the taxi services, such as Uber, have been suspended. At this moment, we are not facing the shortage of the daily needs. There are still some restaurants that provide food delivery services. Now let's go next. So to understand how the cases of the coronaviruses outside of China have changed over the time, let's look at this figure. But please keep in mind the actual number is believed to be much higher because here the number is confirmed by the test. So as you may remember, initially it was the Diamond Princess, not the countries, which has the most number of the infected people, followed by the countries such as Singapore, Japan, Thailand, and South Korea. As you can see here, the number was not that high at this moment. Then now let's see how the number has been changed over the time. On February 20th, the outbreak infection broke out in South Korea. From here, the number of infections increased sharply. As of 23rd of February, the number of infected people in South Korea becomes the highest. Italy, where the situation is very severe right now, has similar number to Japan's case. So that was not very high at this moment. On the February 25th, the number of cases in South Korea has gone beyond 1,000. 2 days later, Italy came in the second place. Since then, as of March 1st, we have seen an increase in the number of the cases, especially in the European countries that were not even in this figure earlier, such as Germany, Spain, and France. After the number of the cases in Italy has dramatically increased, as of March 9th, the number of cases in Italy has surpassed South Korea. The point here is that while infections are growing in European countries such as Italy, Spain, Germany, the number of the cases in Japan is not increasing as much as other countries. As you can see here, Japan is no more in this figure. It is generally believed that if there is a certain number of the cases in the one country, then the spread of the infections happen. However, there has not been a sharp increase in the number of the cases in Japan, while the number was high initially. It is also true that there are many opinions to this. For example, saying that it is because the lack of the test of the infected people in Japan. But if we consider the fact that number of the deaths is not changed much even after this coronavirus is spread. We can also consider that spread of the infection itself is not as much as other countries. What we believe is that we can find a good preventative measures from the case of Japan not to spread coronaviruses with rapid speed. To discuss this point, I would like to introduce two data about the case of influenza in Japan. So as you may know, influenza is the virus-borne illness, likewise coronaviruses, which is prevalent in the period from December to March in Japan, every year in Japan. This graph shows the comparison of the number of the influenza patients from December to March in Japan in past three years. As you can see here, the number of the cases in 2019 to 2020 has plummeted from the January. The number was more than these past 2 years in December. According to the estimate from the Japan's Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, the total patient in Japan on March 1st in 2020 was less than 40% of the same year period last year, which means a decline of about 6 million patients. If we consider that people came to know about coronaviruses around the end of the December and found the cases in China in the middle of January, it seems that the reason to a decrease of the influenza patients can be also the reason why the coronavirus is not spread much in Japan. According to the National Institute of Infectious Disease, there were around 70,000 reported cases of influenza patients between January 27th to February 5th in 2020. That is about 1/3 from the same period in the 2019, and this is the lowest in the decade. This change is not mean to say that any special preventative measures have been developed. We believe that individuals have taken serious steps to prevent infections such as hand washing, cleaning, and cough etiquette. This ends up stopping the spread of the viruses, including influenza and corona, throughout the countries. As you can be seen from the significant decrease in the number of influenza cases, it can be said that individual measures in Japan, after getting aware of the coronaviruses in China, have had a significant effect on the prevention of coronaviruses in Japan as a whole. After the summary of these videos, I'd like to mention 3 points. The first point is this: the number of the cases of the coronavirus infections has been dramatically increased in many different countries, but not in Japan. For this, what we believe is individual measures such as hand washing, cough etiquette have had a significant effect on the prevention of the coronaviruses in Japan. From next videos, we will show some preventative measures that we find it beneficial. We will be providing many different kind of videos in our channel. If you find this video is informative, please like our videos and subscribe our channel. So please don't forget to turn on the notification by clicking the bell mark on the YouTube, not to miss the coming videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again.